Welcome back. We are a border state, obviously, and it's always been a big concern. Sheriff of Cochise County, Mark Daniels, joins us. He was appointed to the President's Homeland Security Advisory Council. Sheriff, it's good to talk to you again.
Always good to be on your show, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about this advisory council. I've maintained this for years, that anybody from Washington, D.C. should be talking to the people in charge of border security in border counties. It's nice to see you on this council. I think you're one of the experts in the country. What do you add to this advisory council?
Well, again, Mike, I think the biggest thing of being on this council is I'm the voice of the community. If you look at my colleagues, very esteemed colleagues on this board, from investors to attorneys to former politicians, high-profile people. But when you look at who sits on the board, and like the White House told me, you're our cop from the community on the board. And truly, that's what I am. I'm the voice and ears for the community on behalf of sheriffs, police chiefs, and the citizens we all serve. So it's exciting to be on this board again.
We've heard about the massive reduction in illegal crossings, over 90% in the Tucson sector and the Yuma sector of the border. But that doesn't mean the problems down there are solved. What are you still facing at the border, and what does the White House need to hear from you about those challenges?
Well, I always say this, the border will never be perfect. It's never going to be 100% secure. It's in one of the best shapes I've ever seen in my 4 decades of law enforcement. They got some management on the border. But the cartels are a criminal organization. They're no different than any business we address. They're savvy. They got the will to get their product across, whether it's trafficking humans, whether it's illicit drugs, guns, weapons, you name it. They're going to continue to do what they do. They're just better at doing it when it comes to whether it's aircraft, whether it's going through tunnels, whether it's concealment. Either way, they're doing the products they're doing. Drugs are huge. Methamphetamine in the state of Arizona, Mike, is off the charts right now. Fentanyl still at 49, 50% throughout the country, comes through Arizona, our southern border there. Again, the problems still exist. They're just in a more manageable state, which allows us to spend more investigative time and tools to address it.
With the shift in border crossers, though, CBP has been able to focus more on the ports of entry of capturing some of these drugs that are being hidden in vehicles coming across. But that doesn't mean that you still aren't dealing with the criminals that do still get through. Are you still making a lot of drug busts in your county?
We are. Sadly, we are. And my guys told me we seized in the first 3 months, from January to March, just under 500 pounds of illicit drugs in Cochise County. Now, that goes back and tells you the problem that still exists. But we're tackling in a more efficient and effective way because we have more time to do it. We're not dealing with everything else when the border was wide open. So again, we're continuing to do it. Human trafficking of children is something we're really concentrating on, Mike. We've had a couple good busts with that. The distributors, these humans that are just evil in my mind, that are taking children, exploiting them, and then sending them across the country for evil ways. So again, we're all over that. All works out of our Regional Border Operations Center in Cochise County, state, local, and federal, working together, sharing our authorities for a common cause, and that is to protect people.
The military zone down on the border that's going to happen, that buffer zone with the military, how does that affect you? Do you think it's going to be a positive change, and will it affect your agency?
Mike, actually, I think it's very savvy. What they're talking about is the Roosevelt easement, which runs from parts of California over to New Mexico and within. We have it running right through Cochise County. It's always been a BLM protected area. We all worked within it for public safety. Well, President Trump and his administration actually made that a Department of Defense military area. So now they're posting up signs on this area. If you go into a military reservation, just like if you go into Fort Huachuca, Davis-Monthan, any of those places, that's a criminal offense. So that's why he established that. It's very savvy. It's very bright, I think. It's brilliant. The issue for us, I just had a meeting a week and a half ago, was how does this affect us? So this military reservation runs through the southern part of my county. How do the local law enforcement, sheriff's office specifically, how do we address it when we find a dead body, a migrant that died out there, or we have a crime out there? We have a lot of ranches in that area, and we're working on agreements right now with the military to ensure that we as first responders, because the military is not going to be the first responders, but we will be. So we're working on agreements to make sure that there's no interruption in public safety for that area.
Well, Sheriff, we appreciate the update. Like I've told you before privately, I think you're the excellent choice for this to be on this advisory board. I think you bring a lot to it, and we're sure happy that you're on there. And thanks for talking to us today.
Mike, it's always great to be on your show. It's an honor. Thank you.
Sheriff Daniels from Cochise County. We'll be back.